In a big city, a girl named Casca goes to her boyfriend's office to surprise him. Security guards notice something strange and call the cops and an ambulance, suspecting her boyfriend of suspicious activity. Casca catches him in the act and causes a scene, leading to her arrest. Later, she feels heartbroken looking at their photo, decides to leave town, and abandons her beekeeping job. Meanwhile, a businesswoman who runs a large furniture company talks with an investor about expanding. Initially unsure, the investor is impressed by her new invention. He asks if her careless brother Patrick still owns part of the company. We then see Patrick being blackmailed by a gang member for $10 million and given a week to pay it back. The businesswoman agrees to cover the debt, and Patrick decides to meet his sister. In the mountains, the businesswoman arrives at a lively, noisy place. She prefers quieter surroundings and is taken to a VIP area. Meanwhile, Casca, feeling heartbroken, rudely rejects an offer for a ride from a worker. The businesswoman's rudeness makes the landowner reconsider selling. His partner convinces him to go through with the deal. The businesswoman discovers that Casca, her sister who just arrived, is another landowner. Casca's presence disrupts the sale, frustrating the partners. Outside, Casca gets a call from her ex-boyfriend Bob. Patrick, a wealthy but spoiled man, crashes her bike and suitcase. Though annoyed, Casca is pursued by Patrick's attempts to flirt. The guy meets her sister to make a deal. He'll give her money if she pays off a $10 million debt. She asks for some of his company shares as collateral, which he reluctantly agrees to. She also wants him to persuade her brother to change Casca's mind about selling the land. Later, the girl reunites with her mother after many years. They share an emotional moment but are not completely happy. She tells her mother she wants to start fresh in the town by setting up a digital apiary with bees rather than staying in America. Her mother thinks it sounds like science fiction, and they laugh together. Meanwhile, two partners hope she'll return to America soon so they can sell their land. That night, the girl sees Patrick, the wealthy man, struggling with a tent in the storm. She angrily invites him to stay at her place. Once inside, she tells him to undress, and he does. She then throws clothes at him and walks away without a word. Patrick, who can't contact anyone, decides to stay the night and fix his bike in the morning. Outside, the two partners are seen carrying a heavy beehive box, scaring Patrick, who mistakenly thinks they are thieves. He feels hurt and goes to see a doctor. The female doctor's more interested in his abs than his injury, and he leaves before her 24-hour checkup. Unbeknownst to him, the gangster is following him. The partners suspect Patrick of chasing them away and decide to hire someone to deal with Casca. At a bar, Patrick orders coffee, and a lawyer tries to dismiss him but ends up buying him another drink. Patrick learns that the partners want Casca gone and approaches them, revealing that she had a soft spot for him and let him stay at her house for a day. Casca's brother gets angry about the situation, even though he wants his sister to leave. However, they manage to settle things and make a deal. The next day, the girl goes to a repair shop to get her roof fixed. The workers laugh at her, and she realizes her brother must have told them not to help her, hoping she'd leave in frustration. She returns home to find the rich guy there. He says he's replacing the beehive box he broke and offers to fix her roof. She shouts at him, and while he's working on the roof, he falls and injures himself. She decides to help him and put him to bed. He takes off his shirt and starts doing push-ups, trying to impress her, unaware that she's watching. She calls her mother for help. Her mother advises him to lie down on a table, where they both give him special treatment that's quite painful. Miraculously, he recovers. The girl believes he won't come back, but Patrick's sister is waiting to sign the land papers and gives him a 3-day deadline. Patrick meets with the doctor again, who flirts with him, but he walks away. He then runs into the thug and tries to escape through the back window, while the thug comes in through the door. Patrick and the partners discuss how close they were to their goal, but complications arose. They inform Patrick that she will be at the city council the next day. The next day, the girl's family prepares for a night at the bar. Her little sister arrives and asks about the handsome man, and both sisters are impressed by him. Talking about men upsets the girl, so she takes a shot. They unexpectedly run into Patrick and his lawyer outside. Her mother wants them to leave, but the girl offers Patrick a spare room. She assures him that they won't be sharing a bed. Inside, she discusses funding for her beehive project, but finds out she didn't get the money she hoped for. Upset, she tells Patrick to chop wood outside. This doesn't go well for him, and he struggles to chop even one piece of wood. When she leaves, he calls the partners for help. They eventually manage to chop and organize all the wood. This impresses the girl, and she starts to feel attracted to him. Later that night, she considers visiting his room but hesitates. He steps out and sees her taking a bath, but stops before knocking. The next morning, she invites him on a trip. They enjoy the beautiful mountain views, and she starts to develop feelings for him. He helps her with the bees, and they almost kiss, but she pulls away. Casca's mother tells him that Casca is a special person who needs special attention. Determined to win her over, he decides to enter a lumberjack competition. Casca and her mother are surprised to see him competing, but he's undeterred. The partners are paying the other competitors to lose, so the rich guy can win. One of the biggest competitors decides to accept the bribe and win for the honor. The partners try to trick him by bringing a beautiful woman in front of him, which almost leads to a serious accident. The rich guy saves the day. After the competition, he tries to talk to Casca, but she isn't interested. Her mother advises him not to play with her feelings. Later, Casca receives an urgent call about the queen bee, which was shipped to the post office 2 days ago. If they don't pick it up today, it will die. The post office is an hour away, so Patrick offers to drive her there quickly. When they reach the post office and find the bees safe, she hugs him in relief. They return to her home with the bees, making her very happy. As they start to kiss, he feels guilty the next morning. Casca is surprised to find he's gone. She learns from the partners that Patrick was part of their plan all along and was not who he appeared to be. Meanwhile, Patrick and the partners are having a heated argument. When Casca arrives, she is heartbroken to learn that Patrick deceived her. Her family, including her brothers, are also devastated. During a conversation, their lawyer accidentally reveals a secret about a hidden treasure. They discover that the wood on their land is worth more than diamonds. Overjoyed, they realize they can keep their home. Patrick then realizes that the thugs were actually sent by Casca's sister as part of a larger scheme. Patrick decides to act smart. He meets with the thug and instructs him on what to do. The thug reports back to Casca's sister, telling her that the plan is going smoothly. The businesswoman returns to town, and the deal is finalized. Casca's brother gets paid and leaves. Just as Casca is about to leave town, her family surprises her. They are thrilled to stay in the house and set up her beehive factory, which makes her very happy. Everyone is excited to see her stay. Patrick's sister finds out that the land she bought is not as valuable as she thought and lacks the expensive wood. Patrick, meanwhile, starts a company with the partners, and they secure an investment for the furniture business. Back in town, everyone is celebrating a wedding. Casca says goodbye to her little sister. During the party, one of the partners makes a toast to the newlyweds, but the usual arguments break out. While the party continues, Casca sits alone, feeling sad. To her surprise, Patrick arrives and asks for a room. This marks the start of their romance, and they share a kiss.
Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell icon, and stay connected with us.